What is going on, everyone? Tonight we have the RTX 5070 Ti. We're going to be checking it out in Dying Light the Beast at 4K and 1440p. Of course, we're going to be going through all the settings like we normally do, checking out DLSS, frame generation, and all the different stuff in between. And I have it paired with a 9800X 3D and 32GB of RAM. Everything I used to create this video will be linked in the description below. If you use one of those links to purchase something, it does help the channel out in a small way with no additional cost to you. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you're not new here, thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. All right, what is going on, everyone? I've got a Dying Light the Beast. Finally, we made it. We have a game in front of us that we're going to test. I've been excited about this all day. Been working, trying to just like hurry up and get to a point where I could give this a good test for you guys. Again, this is just the kind of opening area without ruining anything. I like to test in areas that are a little bit on the calmer side so we can get through the test and to avoid any sort of story elements potentially getting ruined. If you ever watch any of my videos, I try very hard not to ruin any sort of story elements or storylines. And that's just kind of like, you know, a pet peeve of mine whenever we watch a video and people are like showing you crap that you don't want to see yet. And so I try very hard not to do that. But right here we are at very low settings and we have 56 FPS at 4K. Again, this is no upscaling whatsoever. So, you know, we're probably going to need a little upscaling, and that's okay. You know, I kind of expected that, but right now, as far as frame time pacing goes, it's been very smooth. We're utilizing 5.3 gigs, and we are allocating 6.6, so about 6.5 or so. All right, so let's just go up to that next setting and see what we can get away with here. So we're going to go up to low quality. Come down here and fix this because it changes it every time. So low quality, native, so up one tick. And now this game does not currently have any sort of frame or any sort of ray tracing. And it is said to, you know, the developers are going to work on it. If that update does come out, I'll test it again with that ray tracing update. But right now, we're looking at about 60, right at 60, not too, oh, I completely screwed that up. Right at 60 FPS or so. All right, so let's just keep on going down here. I'm trying again to make sure I don't hit any story elements for anyone. I don't want to ruin anything. But right here in this canyon, I'm just going to turn around and go back. Right here in this canyon, we have a little bit of snags, nothing too bad. But, you know, we are at 4K. With no upscaling whatsoever. So I'm sure once we enable some DLSS, we'll be kind of like in a much better standing. All right, so let's just keep on going up. Let's see what we can get away with. Again, this is going to be no DLSS, and then we'll kind of find a good happy spot to see where I would maybe play it at. So this is medium quality. DLSS, of course, is set to native. That's going to give you 55, 53. So losing a little bit of steam right around low 50s, probably going to see high 40s at some point, but you know, I'll call that out if I see it. There's 50, 53, so it might be holding on to 50 actually. 56 runs a little bit cleaner up here. 7.7 on our allocation and 6.4 on our used. So yeah, we're looking okay though. I got some pretty good hopes for it once we turn on some of that. Some of that upscaling, we'll get a nice super high frame rate. This game really is the most fun to play with a high frame rate, just like the others. Just the nature of it's like so super fast, super quick. You know, I really like playing this game with a nice high frame rate. So 60, of course, is fine, but you know, higher the better, in my opinion, on this game. All right, so let's jump over. Not that button, this button. Let's jump over and go up to the next setting, which I believe it only goes up to high. Yeah, it only goes up to high. All right, so let's turn that off. Go back to high, DLSS native. So no upscaling, just basically DLAA. And that gives us 50 FPS. So right here, I mean, 48. There's your mid 40s on the highest preset at native 4K. That ain't bad, really, considering some of the games that have come out in the past week or so. You know, I won't name any names, but everybody probably knows exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, we've got a 55 FPS here, and I think with some upscaling, we'll be able to get the high quality to run really well at 4K. Let's try that now. All right, so we're going to go up high quality. We're just going to go to quality DLSS on high quality settings. Again, this is no frame generation at the moment. That brings us up to 85 FPS here. I haven't actually gone down there yet, and I don't want to risk like triggering a story or something. So we're just gonna head back. But yeah, 90 FPS, 91 FPS. So this is like a really good setting. This game does ship out of the box with frame generation all the way up to 4X. So we'll check some of that out next to see what you can kind of expect at 4K with all the different DLSS, you know, bells and whistles, so to speak. But first, let's go do a little bit more upscaling, because honestly, at 4K, you can go down to performance and it still look really good. All right, so that brings us up to about 93 FPS, 95. VRAM allocations, very managed. These games have always been pretty nice to your VRAM, which it seems to be the trend here as well. We've only got 7.5 of allocation and using 6.3. So plenty of VRAM left over. And yeah, we're looking at about 92 FPS here, 94, 98 when we get down in that closed off space. Going to look over into the city to see what we can expect here with a little bit more stuff, you know, kind of loading in. That's my next goal right there. All right, so yeah, I mean, looks like about 100 to 90 or so swing, depending again, you know, like where you are. All right, so let's jump up to performance and let's just see what we can expect at performance DLSS on high quality. Let's go ahead and jump out of that, come back in here. All right, so that's 103, 104, 108. Yeah, this looks very, very smooth. Performance DLSS looks incredibly good still. So if you really want to get super high frame rates before you kick on any sort of frame generation, performance DLSS can do it, and I'm telling you, it still looks amazing. I mean, it still looks so good. There's almost no discernible detail loss from performance to quality. I mean, you'd probably have to like take screenshots and zoom in at 10x and all that to start really pixel peeping and finding out, you know, finding any kind of differences. But as far as just booting up a game and playing it, looks great. I mean, DLSS really is impressive. All right, so let's just jump down. Let's just see what we can do here. All right, so let's stay on high quality because it runs fine on high quality. What I want to do is come back up to quality, but then kick on some frame generation, DLSS frame generation. Let's go to that 2x. We're going to leave reflex boost on. All right, so we're just going to back out of here, and I'm actually going to turn on my PCL frame time monitor while we have this frame generation turned on. So I'll do that and be right back. All right, so now I have my PCL up there going. Sorry, I had to jump a little bit. It was not cooperating. I got it working now though. So we're at 35 milliseconds. Now with this frame gen on, I'm getting a little bit more snags for some reason. So that's interesting. But yeah, we're looking like the 138, 129 frames on our frame generation of 2x here. Let me just jump over and turn that frame gen off. I'm just curious what our PCL was before we messed with any sort of frame generation, because I'm getting some weird snags. I just want to like make absolutely sure that there's not something weird going on. Okay, so 32 milliseconds of PCL latency up there, which is quite good. 82, 86. Yeah, we're looking pretty good here. This is a nice, this is actually a pretty good setting here, honestly. I mean, we're looking at 83 FPS with, you know, a PCL of 29 milliseconds. That's pretty good. All right, so let's just jump over and turn on that frame generation now that we've kind of like seen what we should expect without it. All right, so let's turn on frame gen. There we go, 2x, frame gen 2x. All right, so that gives us 132 FPS. PCL goes up very little, like three milliseconds, which that's, I mean, that's absolutely nothing, imperceptible. But you're looking good here. I mean, you're at 136 FPS. Your VRAM went up a little bit, of course, because you're frame generating, but you know, for the most part, this is a great setting as well. Your PCL is nice and low, your frames are nice and high. It looks incredibly good. I am noticing though with frame generation a little bit of hitching, just a tiny bit. Like you can see it kind of coming across in the frame time graph over there. It's just like the ever so slightly, just kind of like bothering me, I guess. Let's go up to the next level of frame gen. Maybe at 3x it'll you know kind of get rid of it. Sometimes it does that, but we'll see. All right, so right here, let's see if that smooths us out. It does give us a lot more frames, almost 200. PCL went up slightly to about 40 milliseconds. Now I am noticing that it is not hitching anymore. It feels a lot smoother. So there might be just something kind of going on with that 2X. It's not as smooth as without FrameGen though. FrameGen definitely introduces some odd micro stutters that, you know, might need to just be worked out with an update. But right now I would probably just avoid frame generation because it's kind of distracting. It's definitely giving you more frames. It's just it's not a smooth experience at all. So we're going to check out 4X and just see if maybe that does it. I don't know. We like to check everything out around here. So let's check that out and see what we got. All right, I don't mean to duck. All right, 223 FPS here. PCL's at 38 milliseconds. Like, that's fine. The PCL looks really good. But yeah, just a lot of little hitches and stuff. So I would probably avoid any sort of frame generation on this title right now until they kind of address this hitching, because that's something that I would not want to play with. That definitely degrades the experience a good bit. So I'm going to turn that off. All right, so let's just turn that off. We've kind of seen it all here at 4K. Let's jump over to 1440p. So what I want to do is start off native at 1440. Let's jump over here and turn on, okay, so 1440, let's double check it all. 1440, we're going to start off very low, 1440. All right, so DLSS, no, it likes to change everything. It's one of those games. All right, so let's jump into it, see what we got, and let's go from here. All right, so we are now at 1440. I just want to confirm. All right, 1440. Native, reflex boost is on, that's fine, no frame gen. All right, perfect. All right, so here we are with DLSS set to native, so DLAA, we're on very low settings at 1440p, and we're at 118, 120, I mean, very, very, very good, super smooth pacing on our frames. All that hitching is gone from frame generation. Sorry to cut there, I hit the mic. Yeah, so it seems to just be like an issue with frame generation. I don't know, you know, let me know if you're experiencing the same thing, because it's kind of weird. So I'm going to jump over to the next level and just keep on going. All right, so let's go up to low quality and adjust the DLSS, of course, because it likes to take over. So we're just going to look at this at native, and this will be just low. Now, if the frame time, yeah, so I need to switch over to Rivatuner and then switch back, and then the FPS reports correctly. That took me like 10 or 15 minutes to figure that out. So I'm cutting all that out, but yeah, it's just a weird thing. All right, so we're looking at 120 FPS here. You know, you're going to be fine at 1440. I mean, you were fine at 4K with quality DLSS. So I'm just going to say, you know, you're going to be all right, no problem at 1440. Just make sure you have a decent CPU in your machine. All right, so we are looking at, let's see, come over here. Let's go over to the very next level, which is medium quality. All right, so here we are at medium quality. We've got DLAA turned on, so we're still not doing any upscaling, no frame generation, of course. We're at 115 FPS here. So like I said, you can probably run this thing totally maxed out at 1440, no problem, without even using any upscaling. Again, just make sure you have a pretty decent CPU so you can actually display those frames as fast as it's giving them to the monitor. So that CPU doesn't become a bottleneck. But yeah, I mean, if you're pairing a 5070 Ti with something, you probably are already researching the best CPUs to pair with it. So I won't make any comment on that. But if you got any questions, just let me know and I'll try to help you out. All right, so 110, 109 FPS, yeah, you're going to be fine. All right, so let me jump over here and turn on the next level, which is high quality. Let's come in here and turn all this off because it likes to manipulate things. All right, so DLSS native. Let's go ahead and start everything back up. It's going to start my FPS back over. I need to switch over, come back. Now we have correctly reporting FPS. It's such a weird thing. All right, so we are at 98 FPS. We don't have any upscaling on. So if you want to see what a really high refresh rate experience can look like on this card, let's check it out. So let's jump over and check out 1440 with a little bit of upscaling. So we're going to leave it on high quality because it runs perfectly fine. We're going to come over here and go to quality. So quality DLSS. on that high quality setting at 1440. I actually need to apply it. I always do that on a controller, just get click happy. All right, so we're gonna go to native quality and actually apply it this time. All right, so we're gonna head back into the game, flip back over so we get correctly reporting FPS. All right, so that is 162, 152 FPS. And again, quality DLSS is, there's almost no reason not to use it, in my opinion. It just looks that damn good. And it gives you just so much more performance. You know, even FSR4 is starting to become like a really good rival to DLSS, which I definitely love that, because NVIDIA needs some competition for sure, and I'm hoping that happens here soon, because all these upscalers are starting to get frighteningly good, and that's good for the consumers. All right, so yeah, we're looking at 142 FPS here. I mean, for those folks who are still wanting to see it, I'll do it. Let's come in here. Let's check out what balanced looks like. So this is balanced DLSS with, of course, high quality, no frame gen. Looking at 171 FPS. So this would be a good pairing with a 1440p monitor if you're after like a super high refresh rate. And you don't mind a little bit of DLSS, and you have a pretty strong CPU. Again, let's just keep on going. We're kind of wrapping it up here, though. This is kind of as far as I was going to test tonight, probably beyond where I was actually planning on testing, because performance DLSS here, 1440K or 1440p. I'm starting to think about CPUs too much. All right, so let's jump over, get our frame time and FPS to show up right. All right, so we're looking like 173 FPS here. 170, yep, looks good. So, you know, if you want to do frame gen, you can come over here, kick on some quality DLSS, and let's see if it does any of that herky-jerky stuff, you know, at DLSS 2X. So let's come out, go back in. All right, so that's 2X. Okay, so we're looking like 100 to basically 200 FPS here with quality DLSS. Now, it doesn't seem to be doing all the hitching, which is quite nice. That's a good thing. 225 FPS though on a title like this is pretty sweet, because you know it's a pretty fast-paced game. Anything first-person shooter perspective, I like to have a nice high FPS. Just the nature of the game makes everything feel way more snappy, versus other games that don't really have like a whole, you know, it's not a big difference, not a big deal to have lower FPS in something like a third-person kind of adventure game, like, or something like that. But yeah, so let's just keep going. Let's check out what 4X looks like before I kind of wrap everything up tonight. Yeah, if you are new here, please consider subscribing. If you're not new here, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and see if this will jump into it for me. Did I lose it? No, I didn't lose it. Okay. So yeah, let's see. Wow, 320 FPS here on this hardware. You know, our PCL is at 30 because they're just, most of the frames are not real frames, so that PCL is going to suffer a little bit. It's still not too bad though, but it looks really good. Still on quality DLSS. I just, out of curiosity's sake, just to have a little fun here at the end, I want to see what going down to performance looks like with DLSS, you know, 4X turned on. All right, so let's see. Go ahead and make sure that's reporting correctly. So that gives us 355, 367 FPS. Oh man, I love this CPU. It just keeps up with everything. Almost 400 FPS here. That's pretty sweet. PCL's 25, and I mean, performance DLSS looks so good that with this frame gen on top of it, this is just silly. I mean, this is just the silliest thing. So like if you have a 1440p, you know, high refresh, kind of like a competitive monitor, I guess. This would be pretty fun to play that way, because this monitor tops out at 240, so I am way over the refresh rate. These are all just wasted on me. But if you got a high refresh competitive 1440p monitor, you could definitely hit some high frames on this. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up. Thanks for hanging out with me. This is kind of the first look at this game. It's going to be kind of a focus this week as I go through all of my cards. So be on the lookout. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell. That way you won't miss any of the next few days of Dying Light the Beast videos as I explore all the different cards from the RTX and the Radeon latest and greatest from both companies. So with all that, thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.